You've tuned into The Mountain Gardener with your host, Ken Lane. Gardening, it can be challenging, but with these simple insider tips, you'll reap huge rewards. Now, let's tune into today's Mountain Gardener with Ken and Lisa. And welcome to this week's edition of The Mountain Gardener. Your host, Ken Lane, here every week, talking about the landscapes of northern Arizona. And we are, what do we got? Deep into summer. It's feeling pretty good. Things are growing really fast. When things are growing fast, everything grows fast. Weeds. I mean, I just pulled a 3-foot dandelion. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it. It was intermixed, disguising itself in the patch of wildflowers. What are you doing in there? How'd you get in there? Get out! Just had to pull it out. Pulled right out because we'd had that rain last week. But it makes it easy. Everything grows fast right now, except for some of your flowers. Some of them stop growing for some reason, or they stop blooming. And so I thought I'd share with you just a kind of an insider tip on how to get those flowers to continue blooming, especially those wildflowers or perennial flowers, things that come back year after year. Many things will reseed. And so they start to set seeds right now. So they've been in bloom for 2 months. And so they go, I'm pretty enough. The pollinators are out, the butterflies, the bees, they've been out doing their thing. And now all of a sudden the flower goes, I don't think I need to flower anymore. I think I'll just focus on forming seeds so I can spread my kin all over the yard and just populate the whole yard. And so they're vigorously focused on seed, reproduce. This fall, I'm going to spread my seed everywhere so that next spring I can start taking over the whole yard. This is how plants are programmed to basically populate the hillsides. That's why you see entire hillsides with California poppies or echinaceas or asters or whatever the perennial flower is. That's what they're thinking. And so they have no intention of keeping the blooms going, but you can trick them into blooming more. And the secret is don't let them go to seed. Don't ever let them think for a moment they can reproduce in your yard. Nope. You just keep your pretty little head blooming. Don't you focus on seed. In fact, the California poppies, they've just got these long seed pods all over them right now. They haven't had a bloom. That big orange flower about the size of, I don't know, a pickleball. So that's how big they've been. And now we haven't seen one in probably a month because they're focused on seed. But if you can take those flowers when they start to fade, when the flowers of the petals are gone, you get that big middle center and just pinch that thing off. That's called pinching or deadheading. So if you deadhead that flower or pinch off that spent flower, not the whole plant, don't cut it right down to the ground, although that might not hurt them either. Now they're really focused on growing, like reproducing foliage too, but that's a bit aggressive unless they've got problems like mildews or the bugs have just taken over and there's just no hope. Take a lawnmower weed whacker, just whack them right down. That's extreme for middle of summer. Pinching is very common. Gardeners know how to make plants bloom again, and that's how you do it. And so whether it's a sage, salvia, echinaceas, gaillardias, rudbeckias, all these different coreopsis has been in bloom like crazy. It's this little tiny pom-pom shaped wildflower, loves full sun. It's had hundreds of flowers. And now you've got 10. Going, okay, maybe it's time to take a moment. It takes all of no time. I mean, go through like Edward Scissorhands. Just take off all those flowers. Just take them right off. And throw them on the ground or throw them in your compost bin. Or they haven't formed seed yet. But they're going to if you leave them alone. So what I've been doing is deadheading my roses. I cut back some roses, a shrub rose, and literally within I don't know, by the end of the week, it was starting to bloom. Now, it wasn't fully covered in flowers, but it will be. So I just took all those spent flowers from the spring. I said, okay, guys, here we go. We're gonna shape you up, give you a haircut. Gonna take all those spent flowers, pinch those off, give you some flower power, some fancy fertilizer, and boom, they instantly start forming new flower heads. And their thinking is, oh my gosh, what did they just do to me? I was going to populate this entire backyard, but now I've got to start all over again. And so they'll form new flowers, attract the pollinators. They come in and they start to bloom again, set new flowers. It's easy to trick. A secret with flowers, many of them have a clock built in. You cut the flower off, 45 days later, they will be in bloom, full bloom again. So if you've got a major event, a backyard party, a wedding, you can count back the number of days. It's like roses are a classic. We always want roses in full bloom for Mother's Day. It's a perfect gift. And so we just count back. Okay, we're going to go to about April 1st. We're going to shape them, prune them back, fertilize like crazy, get them to come back. They will come up with new flowers, and whoa, come Mother's Day, they are in full glorious bloom. You can do the same thing for a April, a May, a June, July, August event. You can do the same thing, even if it's in full bloom. A hybrid tea rose, and you want it to bloom August 15th. We just count back. Okay, I'm going to go with June 1st. I don't care if it's in bloom or not. I'm going to whack it back, fertilize it so that it will be in bloom at that certain date. You can do that for a lot of different plants, and it's called pinching or deadheading. So you're tricking the plant into blooming at a certain time frame. The secret is you can't just take off the flowers. It takes a tremendous amount of energy for a plant to focus all its energy into a flower. It's more than just photosynthesis. It needs nitrogen and phosphorus and potash. And yes, that electrical storm we had last week did a lot for the gardens. They really perked up. They started to flower. They started to get greener. But some of them are going to need more than just that. So what a lightning storm does for you, as that lightning streaks across the clouds, it burns the air. And so you get this nitrogen-infused rain. So it burns the air. So you get a quick source of nitrogen. I mean, it's available to the plant like immediately. That's why plants look so good after rain. It's not necessarily the rain. It could be the lightning actually supercharged the rain so that it has more nutrients in it than it otherwise would. And so, but if you can juice your plants a little bit more, you're really going to get the benefit. And so I fertilized, luckily, right before that event happened. I fertilized everything in the yard. I mean, I took 3 bags of all-purpose plant food, some superphosphate, and I just let everything happen. And I did one other, humic. So all-purpose plant food, 744 all-purpose plant food. It's a natural, all natural fertilizer, granular. It's for most things in the yards. Evergreens really like it. So that the cottonseed meal makes things real acidic. So your hollies and pines and cypress and cedars and junipers, they really like that. For my bloomers, I gave them some superphosphate in addition. So I gave everything the all-purpose plant food, but in addition, I kind of supercharged or juiced all my blooming things. Butterfly bush, Russian sage, salvias, the meadow sages, anything that's even remotely blooming or I had just pinched back, I gave it, in addition to the all-purpose, some superphosphate, 0,18,0. That middle number helps promote more flowers and more fruits. So I kind of juiced up my tomatoes, my peppers, flowers, and they just started going crazy. The things that were stressed, here's the last thing I gave them, was humic, H-U-M-I-C, humic. I have a couple of things that they got heat stressed, and I missed a water. Okay, it's on me. And so I just gave them some humic, and that feeds the soil, the roots. It encourages deeper roots. And so it fed the roots of the plants, not the top growth, the roots. So superphosphate, all-purpose food, and humic. And my yard looks amazing right now. We've got more for you, bringing Lisa Watters Lain in with your garden questions right after this.
Wondering why the grass is always greener on the other side? Well, it's probably because your neighbor used the all-purpose fertilizer from Watters Garden Center. Monsoon is right around the corner, and it's the perfect time to feed your plants. Watters all-purpose fertilizer is the only organic made especially for Arizona mountain soils. Don't buy a bunch of different fertilizer for your flowers, veggies, trees, or grass. This one does it all. The plants on your side will be happier, healthier, well, greener. Safe, natural, organic. Watters Garden Center in Preston.
Back with Lisa Watters Lain in the studio. She comes each week with your garden questions. Just what are your neighbors talking about? And so we can get some insight into that. So welcome to the studio, Lisa.
Thank you. Always good to be here.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
It actually is hard to come up with content 52 weeks out of the year. I talk to other business owners or hosts or podcasters or content creators.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, oh, that's a great idea. I just want to do that. I also want to write a book and I want to start my own. Yeah, it sounds really good until you have to actually do it every week, coming up with original, entertaining, insightful, knowledgeable type of content. And so gardening is actually easier than ever. I mean, I can imagine doing insurance, attorneys, accountants,
actuaries.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is garden questions. So what do we got? Anything interesting going on with the monsoon rains?
Well, sure. They're always interesting, right? Right?
Yeah. Well, sometimes they're more interesting than
we do.
others.
Since we've had that moisture, we have a lot of weird weeds and vines and things growing that we probably didn't have last year because they just kind of sat dormant in the ground because there wasn't enough moisture to get them going. But this year we have stuff going. So the weeds are coming out in full force. That's for sure. But Marty has a weed growing in her yard that looks very similar to morning glory, but a little bit smaller. She wants to know, can I just let it grow? It looks kind of pretty.
Yeah.
Or is it something I should take care of?
Yeah, you should take care of that. So it is a morning glory. We call it wild morning glory, I'm guessing. Now, there is actual morning glory. It grows here. Now, we're not allowed to sell the seed because if cattle eat morning glory, they stop eating, they stop gaining weight. Ranchers just outlawed morning glory, selling morning glory seed here in the state of Arizona 100 years ago. So, but you can still find it from a friend. There's still ways to find it. So
there's always a black
That's
market.
one with a great big blue flower, purple flower.
Right.
And so there's a cousin to that called wild morning glory that is much more aggressive and it climbs up. It's also called choke weed. It chokes out corn, chokes out your vegetables, chokes out your flowers, chokes out, if you stand still long enough, it'll choke you out. So you really don't want this in your yard. And it's an annual. It comes back by seed every year. And so the rains are kind of what started. So I'm sure I've seen a little bit showing up here, but it'll climb up fences, form a seed, and then spew it all over the yard. And so it's very insidious. So you really don't want this in your yard. So kill it. Pull it out.
Is it also known as bindweed?
Bindweed.
Another name?
Yep. That's it. Yeah.
Usually it's like a little pink or white flower on it.
Yeah. Comes in a couple different colors, but none of it is good. Okay. Don't let it grow. Decimate is a really easy type of weed killer. It's a liquid mixed up in a pump up spray can, spot treat that, and it'll be dead by the end of the day. Basically, it's really fast. Keep up on it. You know, something you mentioned that last year didn't have rain, drought. We didn't have as many weeds. And then this year we do. I saw a study that said there's like 2,000 seed in every square foot of soil you see sitting there waiting to be disturbed or moistured. They're laying in wait. It was an unbelievable number. Wow, how is that even possible? But then you see the rains come and you see why it's possible.
That's a good reason to use the weed and grass stopper. That's a preventative or pre-emergent. It is hugely useful if you don't want to be out there pulling a ton of weeds all the time.
Again, bindweed or wild morning glory, that is an annual. It only comes back by seed every year, never by the roots. So if you can put that out where that weed and grass top are out where they seem to come up along the driveway next to that fence line, you can eliminate any of the work, eliminate having to spray weed killers because you took care of it before they even came up.
You bet.
Good advice.
All right. Our next question is from Shannon in Chino. She wants to put in raspberries, blackberries, marionberries, all the berries. Wants to know what kind of light do they need? Do they need to be on a trellis, or can you just kind of let them free form?
Yeah, good. So, Shannon, Chino Valley they've got some very nice vineyards out there. So grapes, brambles, blackberries, raspberries do amazingly well. The secret with berries, they need sunlight. And so Chino's pretty good with the sunlight. I would say at least 6 hours or more of sunlight will get you a nice big cluster of berries. We're starting to harvest those right now. So this is when from summer through autumn is when you pick most of the berries. And it's a great time to plant some for next year's harvest. So yes, you can definitely have that. I would say one little insider tip when you're planting berries, come talk to us and we can show you how to plant them. But with berries, they're very sensitive to having soil on their canes or on their stems. Don't let any soil touch that when you're planting them, or they will crown rot or stem rot in the garden. So they can come back from the roots, but why do that? You have this beautiful plant you bought from the nursery. You want it to live and thrive and grow. And then trellis or not to trellis, fence or not to fence. Brambles seem to find their own way. They just grow and have big stems. If you want to keep them in bounds, so tie them next to a fence or tie them up to a trellis. It'll keep them from being 8 by 8 by 8 sprawling plant. It'll be 2 by 8 by 8 sprawling plant against a fence
makes it
line.
easier to pick
to
fruit
manage
as well.
Yeah. There's also just insider tips. That's one when you come look, we can guide you through this, but there's thornless varieties. So you don't look like you've been in a cat fight when you go to pick the berries. It's just, there are certain varieties that do better here. So of course that you'll find those at Watters Garden Center, of course.
Got to get
and you
that
can check
in.
them on the website. So top10plants.com.
Sure.
You can see what's on.
Okay. Good information. Next is Laurel in Prescott Valley. She wants to know, is it okay at this time of year to trim up some of her shrubs? So roses, crepe myrtle, butterfly bush. Is it okay to trim those this time of year? Yeah,
absolutely. Especially the spring bloomers. So forsythia, lilacs, flowering quince, azaleas, rhododendrons, prune those things back now. And they'll start forming their buds through autumn, through the winter, and they'll bloom next spring. Things like butterfly bush, rose of Sharons, crepe myrtles, the things that bloom in the summer, chaste tree. There's a ton of desert willow. There's a ton of them. Those you're better off right now deadheading the spent flowers. Focus on the flowers. Pinch the flowers off, and they'll repeat bloom. And then this winter, let's say November, December, January, when it's they've gone dormant, that's the best time to plant or to prune those back. Right now, if you prune them back too much, you can affect their flowers. They won't bloom anymore. And we're in the peak of the bloom cycle. So why not enjoy the flowers instead of trying to focus on the size of the plant? What the book says is you can prune back 10% of the foliage mass whenever you want. Middle of summer is 100 degrees, prune it back. The heavy pruning on summer blooming things are done in the winter. So you can prune up to a third of that foliage, a third of the plant, just whack it right back down in winter. The spring bloomers, you're really pruning a third of the foliage mass, really cut it back. Let's see, a lilacs, it's really gone berserk, too big. You can prune it back now. So really May, June is ideal, but hey, it's July, go for it.
Okay. I think we got time to sneak one more in. So David had a beautiful maple that was slammed by all the hail.
Oh, no.
To the point that it even took bark off the branches and stems. Wants to know,
that's hard.
Boy, is it going to make it with that kind of, damage to it? And then just what things should he be looking out for?
So what you do, so the hail really took out portions, and we're seeing pockets of hail all around the county, really. And we're not done. So we've got hail possible through September. So things will relief. They will regrow. They'll actually grow more cambium, more bark area around those damaged areas. Will it live? Will it die? I don't know. I'm not all omnipotent. I'm not sure. But I know I'm always stunned at how plants want to live. They want to come back. They want to grow. Just nurse them along at all, and they'll come out of it. Yeah. So the best thing now is fertilize with the all-purpose plant food right now. Like take advantage of we got 3 months of growing season left. Take advantage of every day, and it'll form new leaves. You'll probably have great fall color this fall, and that bark area, it'll actually start to grow over. It might take a couple seasons, but it'll grow over and heal itself. Right. I would give it a chance. Don't give up. If it does die, I know where you can buy a beautiful new maple tree here in Prescott. But give it a chance first. Yeah. Okay, out of time. Ken and Lisa Lain, the Mountain Gardeners.
Watters Garden companion plants for July are hibiscus, maple, verbena, and crepe myrtle.
Crepe myrtle flowers are intense watermelon pink, solar reds, and LED whites that cover this heat-loving shrub.
Plant where you enjoy its beautiful multicolored bark and sinuous branches up close.
The flowers show against forest green foliage that turns red and orange in autumn.
Growing to just head height, every yard has room for at least one, and only available for summer planting here at Watters Garden Center in Prescott.
So I was in the garden center, and we put this beautiful display. The team is into antique cars, of all things. They don't go with garden centers, but it seems like customers really like it, especially the guys. Actually, no. Everyone likes it. That was biased. So the gals are loving it just as much. So we were taking the shells of antique cars. We have a 1970 Triumph GT6 out there. No, it does not have the GT or motor in it. It's inline six. It's been gutted. We put displays on it. The hood is now display tables. The trunk is now a display table. The doors are now hanging baskets. But it had a beautiful display of hibiscus on the front hood of this display car. It's fun. It's something interesting, new. It's hard to describe over the airwaves. In fact, I'll post something on Facebook. I'll do something for you just so you can see what I'm talking about. So if ever you want to know what my yard, garden center, what I'm talking about, just follow us on any of the social medias, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We're there, YouTube. We're there. And you can literally see my life happening in the garden. I mean, it's kind of fun. Some of it's quirky. None of it's opinionated. None of it's religion, politics, or things that will offend you. It's only inspirational, fun, uplifting, happy thoughts. And so one of these was a black bumblebee on this hibiscus display. They were pollinating like crazy. It looks just like a bumblebee, but it doesn't have the yellow stripes across its back end. It's just solid black. I went, ooh, I've got to capture it. That's unusual. You don't see those every day. They're great pollinators, but they can cause some angst with gardeners, actually non-gardeners. Gardeners kind of like it. Let's live and let live. We'll just all get along. Just don't eat my peaches off of the tree. I want those. So, but a black bumblebee is also called a cutter bee. So they will leave the most beautiful, perfectly round, dime-shaped holes in leaves, like roses or red buds, or usually a bigger leaf. And it's usually a smooth, kind of sweeter leaf. And so not a big, great big that I've seen. Sycamore, great big leaves, they don't seem to like. They like the smaller leaves that are softer, green, kind of in color. They don't like evergreens. They like softer, deciduous green leaves on plants. And they'll cut out this perfect shape, and they take it back and they make a nest with it. And so I'm not sure quite what they're making it with. I think they make food out of it. So some fungal things that they feed their babies. A cutter bee nest is kind of like a bumblebee nest. They're quite small. There are very few of them. So it's rare to see. They're not like honeybees. There's 50,000 of them in a hive. And if you knock the hive over, they'll come out and kill you. They're not killer bees. They are docile, gentle. They're busy, focused on their flower. They're afraid of you. They'll kind of buzz off if you disturb them at all. They're kind of shy, much like bumblebees. And so, but they're really strong pollinators because of their size of their bodies. They just pollinate more. And so they're busy collecting the pollen on your plants. They're great for all your flowers, your vegetables, really good at pollinating squash, pumpkins, the bigger flowery kind of things. And you get in there, really kind of shake things up. And so you'll get bigger gourds, that kind of thing. So if you see a black bumblebee, you know what it is. It's now a cutter bee. If you see holes cut out perfectly, dime-sized, in your leaf, you go, that's a cutter bee. A cutter bee did that. You can impress all your friends. So, and eventually you're going to see somewhere in the yard a black bumblebee roaming around. Underneath my deck, I've got this little ledge. They're kind of like sparrows or birds. They got this little place where they like to roost they must migrate someplace because they're only there now. They're not there any other time of the year. So, or they're just resting up there, and my yard's a pollinator yard. And so we fully expect to attract more bees, butterflies. The hummingbirds are a nuisance right now. There's so many of them. It's ridiculous. They're all bickering, fighting back and forth. They're like seagulls, only pint-sized. They're just tiny little things running around, just talking to each other, talking to you. And I don't feed any of them. I simply garden for them. So I don't have feeders up. And there's a lot of them. And so I do see, and with that, I also attract the pollinator bees, the mason bees, the cutter bees, bumblebees. I've seen them all. Honeybees, of course. And so you can do the same. But just a lesson. If you see a black bumblebee, now you know what it is. It's a cutter bee, and they are very good for the garden.
Watters Garden companion plants for July are hibiscus, purple verbena, crepe myrtle, and sensation maples.
Sensation maples grow fast. The spring leaves erupt with soft reds that quickly mature to a refreshing green for summer-long shade.
Autumn, it unleashes a brilliant display of red leaves.
Where this maple really shines is in the areas with challenging garden soils.
The picture-perfect tree to line driveways or shade a patio.
You'll only find Sensation maples here at Watters Garden Center in Prescott.
All right, it is Ken and Lisa here at the Mountain Gardener. And this segment every week is for Lisa, just a different perspective. What are your neighbors talking about? What are the gardeners? What's a different gardener's perspective? And I think there's different ways to look at gardens. And you've definitely got that florist, flower, beautification thing going on at our house. And so I thought, let's just segment this into your segment. And I'll try not to talk. And it's 10 minutes straight of just you.
10 minutes straight, sure.
Yeah, well, I'll help fill in just because, it's why you married me, to fill in.
Okay, I'll let that one go. So we did celebrate the lake.
Yep, Lake Powell.
So yeah, good times.
I would do it again.
All of them?
All of them. I mean, there's some rougher than others. Those first years as your first child, you don't know what to do. The first few years of marriage, you starve to death. You don't quite make enough to really get you going.
Yeah.
So you just and you got to buy all this stuff. And so you don't quite have enough to go around. And then twins. We thought we had it going on. That we were blessed. One boy, one girl, a pretty, blue 4-door sedan. Everything fit, the perfect 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. And then the good Lord blesses you with identical twins. Yep. And nothing fits anymore. So
that threw a big monkey wrench into everything, but it's been a fun monkey wrench.
It has been. It's been a blessing. Kids are a blessing.
Good times. So came back from the lake, and we'd gotten some rain. We were there almost a week. Came back, and the yard is gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
All of our perennials are in full bloom. The thyme lawn is just blooming its heart out. It's just gorgeous.
You gotta love the monsoons. This reminds me of the monsoons. Like in the 70s and 80s. Remember that? I mean, you couldn't go to church on Sunday and leave your windows open because by the time you got done going to Sunday brunch, coming back, it already rained. So rain's coming you had to really just plan ahead every afternoon, or it's highly likely it was going to rain. It's been doing that. Mm-hmm. So it's good.
Even just the increased humidity things are happy with that. But all of our catmint, and new things that we had planted or just taken off. And
Agastache
the agastache
doubled in size while we were away.
Everything's
great.
happy.
Yeah.
So it is a great time to plant still. So a lot of people start thinking, and I don't know where this comes from.
It's Phoenix or Midwest. I don't know.
It's that, I can't plant now, right?
Yeah, it's Phoenix. It's the desert stuff. You don't do that in Palm Springs, or it's just too hot.
Yeah.
But you don't live 10 miles from the sun up here. You're like, it's not hot. What's it going to be today? 80s? That's not hot. That's beautiful. With a chance of 80s with a chance of rain. That's like magic for gardens.
So it's still a great time to plant and a great time to dig.
Oh, yeah.
Because those soils have some moisture in them. They're not concrete anymore. So it's a great time to be out there planting. And we did get some new perennials in, real pretty. So I thought I would showcase a few of those because there's a few new ones.
The summer perennials, those are always the toughest. Oh my gosh. They take any amount of heat.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you got drainage, typically,
right,
they're going to grow like crazy, which we have.
That's true. So we did get a new catmint called Neptune catmint. So this is a nice little dwarf catmint.
Oh.
So it's going to get about 12 inches high. I'm sorry, about 12 inches wide, about 8 inches high.
Oh, that is almost a ground cover like.
Yeah,
wow.
Just a really cute little plant. Has that purpley blue foliage on it, or flowers. And the thing I like about the flower, and I meant to bring one over, darn it.
You should show the folks in the videos. You got to remember, this is a vlog, not just a radio piece.
I can't change. I'm a Luddite. But the flower is it's almost the standard size flower that's on the bigger one.
Nice.
So you really see a lot of flower when it's blooming. So very pretty. We also got in a little gold star black-eyed Susan.
Oh, neat. Another dwarf.
Right.
Oh, really?
And well, the flowers some of the black-eyed Susans have that really
Huge,
great big
as your
flower.
hand.
This one has about the size of a quarter, I'd say, but just covered in blossoms. So really, really pretty. And those black-eyed Susans are those great late summer bloomers.
Through fall. Now through fall,
mm-hmm.
It's going to bloom nonstop. Great autumn plant.
Mm-hmm. We also have a lot of great red hot pokers in. So the ones I like about these is they're the more dwarf red hot poker. So they're not going to take over a bed. Sometimes you put them in a perennial bed and they get huge. So they're like monsters taking over the
4x4.
Mm-hmm. But these guys don't. So we have the mango, which is kind of a yellow color. And then we have the orange. I think it's orange popsicle, orange something. Anyways, it's more of an orange color. It'd be really pretty together. A couple of those together in a perennial bed. Love the heat. Very drought hardy. Yeah. They animal resistant?
Yeah, they are. So red hot pokers, you can put them right out there with javelina. They're not going to bother them. They just learned that's not good. I'm not sure about the dwarfs, but I don't know why a dwarf wouldn't be exactly the same as a standard parent size. I'm sure they're the same.
I would think so.
Yeah.
We've got a really pretty coneflower in called Sunny Days Ruby.
Yeah, I saw that on the back dock when they're unloading. That's like double pom-pom pink.
Doesn't it?
It's all like I think it glows in the dark. It's beautiful. Oh my god!
It's out there screaming at you.
Yeah.
Look at me. We also got one called Baja Burgundy, which is a little bit darker red. The other one's more of a pinkish one, but very, very pretty. Gaillardia, which is another great late summer bloomer, blooms until fall. We have the Sunrita, which is a yellow and red color one. Very pretty, animal resistant.
Yep.
For those people. Then we got some really cool succulents in. So we have the Autumn Joy sedum, which gets up 2 feet?
Yeah,
tall?
knee high or so, maybe just a little shy of knee high. Yeah,
and has that pink blossom. Well, they're coming out with some new varieties of the Autumn Joy. So we have what's the first one called? Darn it! I did write it down.
Your notes.
I'm like, I can't either. Autumn Charm. Charm. So it's a variegated white and green leaf.
Well, that's interesting, especially with dark rock.
Mm-hmm.
Again, sedums love the sun.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes you put these dark mocha colored rocks down, you put a dark green plant in, it's like they blend in.
Right.
Sometimes those variegated varieties are stunning.
Shows up. It just is very bright with that white and green. It has a pink blossom to it, or will have a pink blossom to it. So that was a new one. And then we also got Dark Magic. Now this one, probably don't want to put it with dark rock because it would just blend right in.
It's got a mocha colored
but it's got a almost black purple foliage.
That's neat.
I mean, you look at it and you go, oh wow, it's very, very different. And it has a dark pink flower to it, so you get kind of a really nice contrast.
Yeah, wow,
there.
that'd be new. That's one you put with crushed granite, gold color with a dark foliage. It looks good. It's always
Right.
contrasting.
Mhm.
It's always a way to design.
Oh yeah, and there's a few other succulents out there. I didn't get all the names, but now is a really good time for those guys. So they're going to be starting to bloom very soon. Just very pretty out in the yard, very carefree. You're not doing a lot of deadheading maintenance on them, so they're nice that
We
way.
planted, what's it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 10 different types, not 10 different sedums, but 10 sedums, 3 different kinds. And we put them on drip system in the backyard on those back terraced areas.
Right.
And drip is okay for them, but really sedums, they don't like our city water or well water. They like natural rain. We go up to the lake, come back, and they've like grown by 30% just because of the rain, not just the drip system. So it's good drainage, bright sun, and natural water. You just can't beat that for sedums.
That is true. That is true. We also got in some coreopsis, different kinds and colors.
Summer plants, summer
and
bloomers.
Then some really cool daylilies. So, and our neighbor's daylily. We came back and our neighbor's daylilies are just singing.
Over the top.
And they're glorious. Yeah. So
this is their time. Also, animals don't bother daylilies, coreopsis. Most of these you've talked about, they don't bother them. Rabbits, deer, javelina.
Might eat the sedum though, don't you think?
It just depends how desperate they are. Usually,
now there's so much moisture around. They're probably a little more.
Lots of weeds.
Forgiving.
We were coming through Dewey, that area, coming over the hill. Green is everywhere. Just green. It's so pretty.
Very pretty.
All these you mentioned are perennial. They're best planted now in the summer.
Right.
So when the ground is moist, warm, and they're just going to continue to grow until about November. Then they'll rest underground, kind of take a break and come back fresh, brand new next spring for you. Every spring, count on them. They'll just get better and better. So hardy, tough as nail perennials you can plant in your yard right now here at
Watters Garden companion plants for July are hibiscus, maple, crepe myrtle, and purple verbena.
Purple verbena is mountain famous for gorgeous summer-long flowers held over compact green foliage.
This purple bloomer loves bright gardens, summer heat, and grows best in poor soils with less water.
Go ahead and abuse this bloomer. You can't kill it.
The perfect native perennial for easy summer long flowers.
You'll only find the toughest verbena here at Watters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
I've titled this segment, Plants Impossible to Kill Even If You Try to Kill Them. And so I thought I'd go over the list of those plants where if you just don't know where to start and you seem to think you've got a black thumb and you just don't want to lose another plant, tune in. Here we are. Here's the list we're going to have for you. And I thought it would give you pretty much the trees. I got 2-3 trees, got a couple shrubs, a couple perennials that'll kind of get you going, and a vine. So let's just start with vines. A vine. If you don't know where to start, you want to cover up that wall. You've got a hillside that's just washing away from last week's, 3/4 of an inch all at once. Boom. You need to hold that hill, and vines are a great way to go. And so I would say if you're going to start with a vine and you're just not sure, the ones that are the toughest, I don't care. You have to really focus on killing them if you want them to die, because they're going to come back probably. Silver lace vines, silver lace vine, silver lace. So it's got this beautiful flowing white flower. It adapts really well. It's got a real fleshy root structure to it. So it makes it very robust. So it's a beautiful, fast growing vine. One that's very similar, that's a native, is called Virginia creeper. You cannot kill Virginia creeper. It's got a big root like a carrot, several carrots. And so it's just very, very robust, very drought hardy. Oh my gosh. And it's most famous in the fall for its red fall foliage. And then the most number one selling vine of all of them, not quite as tough as the other two, but darn close, honeysuckle. I mean, Hall's honeysuckle specifically, but honeysuckle as a family of vines, very robust. They're really pretty and very tough. Let's move to trees. Trees, I would say the number one seller, and because it's so pretty and easy to grow, fast growing, would be Prescott Blaze maple. It's the fastest growing of the maples, bar none, that has red fall foliage. So many other maples, they get wind torn, they get beat up, they get yellow, they don't look good. They don't like our soil, our wind, our water, but Prescott Blaze loves growing here. Easily gets up, shoots up quickly to 40 feet tall by 20 feet wide, the perfect shade tree, thick shade. It's a great plant. I would say aspens are right up there for fast growth. Now, I'm saying that live. There's some that have all plants have a life cycle. So if it's 20, 30 years old and it dies, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you put it in the ground and watch it thrive. It's hard to make a mistake. Aspens, I would put in that list. I'd put sycamores in that list. I'd put anything with the word locust. Locust is a real small, lacy leaf. And so locusts are just a great, strong plant. There's several native locusts, like New Mexican locusts, that grow really well here. They're very robust. I would put oaks, especially for the higher elevations, the Groom Creeks, the Highland Pines, the Williams, the Seligmans. If you got a windy hillside, you should go and look at oaks. Oaks are really strong, and they're native. A lot of them grow. All of them are very deep-rooted. So those are great trees to start with. There's several others like redbud. It's a native. Redbud grows wild out New Mexican redbuds. There's several native ones that do well, but all of them, that entire family, loves growing in backyards here in Arizona. Good choice. Shrubs. If you're looking at shrubs, I would say there's some native-y things. Let's start with the pokey, spiny things, because those are tough. Okay, cactus, prickly pears, specifically, ocotillo or jumping cactus or teddy bear cactus. They have several names for that. Jumping cactus is going to come back and bite your face off. Not a nice name. So they call it the teddy bear cactus. It's the same thing. Respect it, give it space, and it'll thrive. You can't kill it. Don't water it, whatever you do. Just leave it alone. Put it in the ground, leave it alone. Yuccas. There's a whole series of yuccas that grow wild in the mountains of Arizona. So banana yuccas, red yuccas, #1 seller. So that's a kind of a hip high. The flower is hip high. The foliage is down around knee high, but these red flowers hover and move around. Hummingbirds are always all over them. There's a new one out called yellow or gold yucca. It's a new color out that's just like its cousin. So the redhead or the blonde, pick the one you want. They grow the same. Just the flower color is different. Foliage looks the same size, same full sun. Hardly water it. If you do put it on a drip system, be careful. Treat it like you would your trees. So put it on your tree system. Water a good deep soak once a week, and it's going to be happy. Agaves or artichoke agaves. There's several agaves or century plant. They're in bloom right now. So if you get this gigantic stalk that's up 10, 20 feet tall, it's an amazing flower or shrub or whatever it is, agave. Those are also very, very robust. So once they bloom, they do die. In about 20, 30 years, they're going to die. The mother plant gives up all of its energy to its babies, its seed at the top. Then it drops over and it's going to reseed over there. But what happens is underneath all this great big artichoke, gigantic artichoke looking plant, you'll see all these little pups. So you see it, she never truly dies. She leaves back behind little babies, and then you have a cluster of agaves, but you will have to clean that one out in about 20 years. So you cut out the old spent flower, it'll pop right out. So that's another one. Okay, shrubs, other ones. I would say chaste tree, Chaste, chaste tree. It's blooming purple. It's about to erupt in purple flowers right now. It blooms from summer through fall. Great pollinator, big shrub. Gets up to at least 10, 12 feet tall. Beautiful shape. Just vase-shaped to it. It's a companion plant with desert willows, which is another one that's very tough, or red buds, another one that's very tough. you can't kill these things unless you just grossly overwater them, just totally water them every day. They're not going to like that. They want to be respected, left alone. I just want to bloom over here by myself. Just talk to me sweetly, but don't give me too much water. Again, if you water these, put them on that tree system. Water it real deep once a week. That's more than enough to keep them happy. But chase tree, very good plant. Desert willow. There's a new variety called Buddha, Budda, or no, Bubba. Sorry, Bubba. Desert willow. We figured out how to breed the seed out of it, so it doesn't form seed. All the plant does when it blooms, drops a flower, excuse me, and then sets another set of flowers. Amazing bloomer, much longer bloom cycle. Your other shrubs are, excuse me, got a little something. Speaking of shrubs, I'm thinking about the native plants and that some of the pollen's coming off. Silverberry, a great big plant, gets up head high or beyond. Nice evergreen, solid hedging kind of plant, but it grows wild out in the forest. So you'll just see this in the lower elevation down towards Skull Valley. You'll see pockets of silverberry. Silk tassel, another evergreen, a wild native plant, gets up easily 8-10 feet tall. Same thing, evergreen plants in bloom right now, white flowers, beautiful plant. I would put the Cotoneaster family or Cotton Easter family, that whole family of shrubs, again, evergreen. There's some native varieties here. They're usually about hip high with silver foliage, but the big clusterberry Cotoneasters also, they're direct cousins. The DNA is the same, but it gets bigger. It gets easily 10 feet tall with big clusters of red berries all over. It's quite striking. Great screening plant. But anytime you see Cotoneaster, you know you got a good plant. I would say crepe myrtles. They're sun-loving. They love the sunnier areas out in the valley areas. Chino, they're beautiful specimens. And they just grow for years and years and years. The list goes on and on. I'm out of time for this segment, and I've only got 10 minutes, but I've got more advice for you. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back after this.
Wondering why the grass is always greener on the other side? Well, it's probably because your neighbor used the all-purpose fertilizer from Watters Garden Center. Monsoon is right around the corner, and it's the perfect time to feed your plants. Watters all-purpose fertilizer is the only organic made especially for Arizona mountain soils. Don't buy a bunch of different fertilizer for your flowers, veggies, trees, or grass. This one does it all. The plants on your side will be happier, healthier, well, greener. Safe, natural, organic. Watters Garden Center in Preston.
So I titled this segment, You May Have Bought the Wrong Plant. And here's where I'm going with that. I mentioned the plants that are just impossible to kill earlier in the show. And so there are some that are just more robust. There are some that should never be in this area. The buyer didn't know what they were doing. They don't speak Latin. They just said, oh, that's pretty. I'll take some of that. Yeah, my people will buy that. I'll make a buck off of it, off of you, as you watch it die slowly as summer hits or doesn't take our water or alkalinity or wind. It doesn't go through the winter. It's not the right zone. You really, really need to do your homework. I mean, due diligence, or you just need to shop at a local garden center that knows their stuff. These people have been here. My folks have been with me on average, decades. They know plants. They live plants. They go through life looking at plants, playing with plants, and IDing bugs. How many bags of bugs and disease we see every day is wild. It'd blow your mind. And so you walk up the wall of depots, Lowe's, whatever you want, a box store you're calling it. It's confusing. I don't even know what the products are on that wall. I don't know how you pick how to kill that scorpion or blister beetle or aphids or what's eating your peaches, your apples, worms and apples. That's complicated. But we do, because that's what we do. We live and breathe this stuff. We love it. We love seeing the weirdest, freakish thing we've never seen. It's hard to find something new we've never seen. So we kind of look at that going, oh, the entire team will gather going, wow, how did you get that on your tree? That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Here's how you kill it. And so same with plants. If you're coming in with a photo of on your phone or your tablet, or you're trying to sketch things out you're not sure where to start, come talk to us. This is fun for us. We'd love to show you which one's going to do best. Yes, you might pay $2 more, but you'll make 100 less mistakes out in the yard. That's our niche in the marketplace. You can go buy it for $2 less at Home Dumpo, as we call it, Home Depot. I'll probably get a cease and desist order, but dang it, their warranty's great. I can kill it all day long. Yeah, but it's not about the plant cost. It's about your time in the sun, sweating, wondering what to do, and then watching that plant slowly die, mocking you. That is pain for a gardener. If we're bad people and we're gardeners, we get thrown in hell to watch plants die for eternity. It's not pleasant. So heaven, you plant things and they just grow and thrive. They become more lovely. They start to sing it. They celebrate. Good, strong plants love to interact with you. They're talking with you. They're communing with you. Truly, you can feel it. And that's nature for you. And you can do that in your own backyard, just picking the right plant. Sometimes you're walking through a box store and you just don't know where to start, and you didn't read the label and you went, oh, it's pretty, I'll take it. Oh, it's only $20-$30. I'll take it. I'll take 2 of them. And then they both die. That's because you bought the wrong plant for that part of the yard. We can help guide you into that sun, shade space, wherever it's going to be. We've got garden classes every Saturday at 9:30 in the morning. They're free. They're meant to help you be a gardener, to be a better gardener. Yes, we use it as a marketing thing, to bring you into the parking lot on a Saturday, but truly our true heart is to make you a better gardener. And if you have success, you're going to tell all your friends and they're going to come in and follow you. Then you're going to bring your neighbors to your garden center. They taught me how to do this, and I want you to have the same success that I've had. Sometimes you bought the wrong plant because you were shopping at the wrong place. Support your local independent garden centers, whether it's Warner's in Flagstaff, Plant Fair in Payson, whether it's Verde River Growers or Watters Garden Center here in Prescott. We're here to help you.
Watters Garden companion plants for July are hibiscus, maple, crepe myrtle, and purple verbena.
Purple verbena is mountain famous for gorgeous summer-long flowers held over compact green foliage.
This purple bloomer loves bright gardens, summer heat, and grows best in poor soils with less water.
Go ahead and abuse this bloomer. You can't kill it.
The perfect native perennial for easy summer long flowers.
You'll only find the toughest verbena here at Watters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
For a more fruitful garden, increased success in the landscape that just feels better, then tune in daily to the Mountain Gardener podcast. Subscribe through your favorite podcast streamer or visit wattersgardencenter.com. Better yet, visit me directly right here at Watters Garden Center. Thanks for tuning in.